p.m. live stream as always. I hope everybody is doing well. Happy birthday, Windsor. I guess technically happy belated birthday, Windsor. Um, one day, one day late, but yesterday Windsor celebrated its 133rd birthday. They did a special event at City Hall. I'm going to be posting about that shortly. So don't forget to check out my Facebook, social media, all that good jazz, to check out some pictures from Windsor's 133rd celebration. I'm a firm believer, I've said this a million times, so I don't want to chew my food twice, but we as Freemasons should care deeply about the communities in which we live, and we should celebrate their successes and celebrate their milestones, including 133 years. And in fact, Freemasonry and Windsor, Freemasons have been linked with Windsor and Windsor's history since the beginning, since before Windsor was Windsor, actually. Welcome, Dylan. I hope that you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll hit that like and subscribe button. Mariana, I'm very sorry that you feel sad today. To everybody joining us, please take a moment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you're doing, and let me know if there's anything you want to talk about. I think I might talk a little bit today about the history between Windsor and Freemasonry, because there's a lot of cool things there to discuss. And it's something I love about Windsor is the Masonic connections it does have. But Dylan, how are you doing? I'm going to give it a second to see who finds us. And I do hope everybody is doing very well. Let's see what people on the interwebs are saying about us. The other thing that's happening is we have the Ontario Grand Lodge, really Ontario Annual Communication taking place here in Windsor, the Ontario Annual Communication taking place in Toronto. I'll be traveling there from Windsor, and I'm looking forward to it very much. It's going to be a blast. So yeah, it's going to be a really, as always, annual communications are a lot of fun and really, really enjoyable. And so I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. And in the meantime, though, we're just going to wait. We're going to see who joins, who finds us, and what it is that you guys want to talk about. Any questions on Freemasonry? Any thoughts, positive, negative, or neutral? I'd love to hear them. Welcome, if you're just joining us, I hope you're doing well. Special week this week. We have the annual communication for Ontario Grand Lodge taking place up in Toronto, up in actually Markham, really, this week. We also have, yesterday, Windsor celebrating its 133rd birthday, 133rd anniversary. You know, I've said it a million times. I think we as Freemasons should care about the communities in which we're located. We should care about our communities, want them to be successful, want to celebrate their successes. And 133 years is a success. It is a milestone. So happy birthday, Windsor. And actually, Freemasonry and Windsor have been connected even before Windsor was Windsor. That's actually true for the whole Essex area. We got to celebrate some of that with a Cornerstone Ceremony a few years ago that was really special. Good afternoon, Raised Eyebrow. I hope you're doing well. How is it going? All is well by me also. Tomorrow, for everybody watching this, I won't be able to do my live stream. I'm going to be traveling to the Grand Lodge. So I'll be on a train or on a bus by the time I get there, or by the time I wouldn't normally do the live stream. So sadly, I cannot do a live stream. However, I'm still going to be posting a lot of stuff on social media, so please make sure to follow along. Well, the second coming, I'm not sure what's going on here, but let's just block you from the chat unless you have anything positive to contribute. Or let's put you in a timeout for the time being. But even when I'm traveling and there's no live streams, please make sure to keep following us on social media because we have so much stuff that we're working on. Mai says hello. Hello, and JR Bear says hello. Hello to both of you guys. I hope you hit the like button very much. I'm sure your cheese scones will turn out great, Dad. And if you guys would be so kind as to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you have any questions about Freemasonry. Positive, negative, and neutral. I'd love to hear them. It's like Amoy. Okay, Amoy, welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well. Let me know if you have any questions, thoughts, comments on Freemasonry. Like I said, and by the way, I hope you'll hit the like button and the subscribe button. And let me know how it's going. Thank you, Amoy. So what is going on? Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. That's a good question, Raised Eyebrow. That's a really good question. How do I look back on my initial installation, or initiation, I should say? How do I look back on my initiation? I'm trying to think of because I don't know how can I even reflect on my initiation. It happened so long ago. I mean, I think I probably honestly don't reflect on or look back on my initiation as much as I should, because when you go through so many meetings, I did a calculation, it's probably been over 1,000 meetings and events since I first joined, right? It all kind of starts to blend together, and your initiation starts to kind of blend in with everything else as well, for better or worse, unfortunately. I think in some ways it kind of makes me nostalgic when I think back to it, how little I knew and how kind of new and fresh you are and excited you are, and everything still seems fresh and new and you're not burnt out or tired of it yet. In some cases, you kind of want to get back to that, if that makes any sense, right? You kind of want to get back to that feeling of excitement and you don't know what's going on and everything's new. So if anything, I suppose with a tinge of sadness that the initial excitement and enjoyment and mystery of it has kind of been lost to the day-to-day grind. But I suppose that's like your first day at a job you're really looking forward to, or your first day, or even like a marriage, right? I'm assuming the first couple of days of a marriage are much more, or first couple of weeks, first couple of years, you know, before you run into that grind of the marriage and the hard work of it. What was your best accomplishments, asks Amoy? I will always go back to January 19th and January 20th of 2024, which were two really special days in Windsor Masonic history. It's where we in Windsor had actually I was told, the largest gathering of Freemasons outside of the annual communication, where we brought in special guest speakers. We had an installation. It was a really incredible event, and it was something I was really, really proud of. And I posted a lot of stuff on social media about that. I don't know, Amoy, if you follow any of my stuff on social media, but I posted a lot of pictures and images and videos from January 19th and 20th. They were really, really cool. So I hope that you guys will check those out. Day's going well. I hope your day's going well also, Smokey. At one point, my pastor converted religions, and the ceremony around it remained salient to me, making distinct areas in my life. Yeah, well, there's certainly Cameron, pre being a Freemason and post being a Freemason, and kind of the initiation acts as a guidepost, if that's the right term, for like moments in your life. So I certainly think that's the case, absolutely. And I'm sure that's true for a lot of people. There's, any big event in your life, big moment, there's what it was before, what it was after. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Certainly that would, yeah, so that does make sense to me. But yeah, about to be heading to work. Well, we're still happy that you joined us even for a few minutes. I hope that once again, as always, I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Everybody joining us, please take a moment, hit that like button, share this with other people, share it on social media, all that good jazz. Here come the hearts. Oh, there we go. We got the hearts coming. I appreciate that. The hearts always help. I was going to talk today, once we get about an hour in, because as usual, I always give it the first, hour for people to join or thereabouts. Maybe talking about the history of Freemasonry and Windsor, because yesterday Windsor celebrated its 133rd anniversary. We got a lot of cool stuff to share on it. Took some videos of the celebration, and we as Freemasons should care about the communities in which we're located. But Freemasonry has been a part of Windsor since before Windsor was actually Windsor. I don't know what the hearts do is any reactions. To my understanding, based on my research on this, is the internet. The internet itself, and social media especially, seems to work on interaction more so than anything else, right? It's not just how much are people watching, that's a big issue. It's how many people are commenting, how many people are hitting the like button, how many people are sharing, how many people are responding to comments. All of that stuff is kind of what determines whether videos get boosted by the algorithm or kind of get lost in the shuffle. And the hearts and the thumbs up is just another way of interacting with the stream, is what it seems like to me. So, Freemasonry is very similar as that with the internet, right? It's about interaction. That's what makes it successful. Yeah, that's why you always hear the people, like, it's kind of one of those big jokes online, right? Where you'll always hear people on social media, especially on YouTube, they'll always say, like, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, don't forget to blah, blah, blah. The reason they're saying that is because they want that interaction. And again, there's a lesson in that for Freemasonry. What Freemasonry needs to be successful more so than anything else is, yeah, so Smokey says it, right? What Freemasonry needs more than anything else is people interacting and interaction. That's the key, right? It's a beautiful lodge room that's empty is not fulfilling what Freemasonry needs. And honestly, that's why probably I mean, I'm always happy to get any subscriber, but that's why even more so than subscribing, the most important kind of metrics are always going to be the comments, are always going to be the sharing, because that shows interaction more so than hitting the subscribe button, right? And then there's also obviously watch time and watch hours. How long are people sticking around and watching a video? Because if you go on for a second, hit subscribe, and then stop watching, that's helpful, but it's more helpful if you just stick around for the entirety of it. Which is why I am, like I said, still considering doing my 24-hour live stream. Which, again, I don't expect people to be around for the whole 24 hours, but you come in and out of it, it should be a lot of fun. I just don't know when I'm going to do it yet, because I've still got my trip to Grand Lodge tomorrow. Got a whole bunch of stuff happening, so. Interesting. Looks like a couple of people from Ontario are on the stream and will be going to Grand Lodge, or at least voted in our poll. Yes, 29%, no, 71%. So, to the people who said yes, I hope I'll see you there. Maybe even do some interviews. Heed, Heed. Welcome, Heed. I hope you're doing well. How's it going? I know my lives usually have people all the way throughout. Well, that's awesome. And that's a good sign, Smokey, right? If you're getting people to come at the start and stick for the whole way through, that's a really, really impressive skill. And it shows that you're a really, really good streamer. By the way, everybody watching this, click on Smokey the Clown's avatar, and by all means, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to his lives. Super normal. Super normal is good. And please, if you guys haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe button, as I always say. We're going to give it, like I said, another 40 minutes or so, and then we'll start talking about the main subject, which is going to be Freemasonry in Windsor, because yesterday, Windsor celebrated its 133rd anniversary. 33rd birthday, I should say. Congratulations on 133 years. As Freemasons, we should care about that. Well, if it works, I mean, whatever works for you. I don't got the smoking part. I got the coffee, if that works for anybody. And I have not forgotten about my other streams, by the way. Today, I actually may stream for my personal channel at some point. I may even go on Twitch and stream. Smokey, do you stream on any other platforms outside of YouTube? Because I've been trying to stream on Twitch to see how it goes, but welcome. If you're just joining us, I hope you're doing well. We're here to chat about Freemasonry. In about an hour, well, not an hour now, about 40 minutes, we're going to start talking about this specific subject, which is going to be Freemasonry and Windsor. TNSI, hello. I think you're new to the stream. If you could be so kind, hit the like button. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you have any questions about Freemasonry. Combine, I hope that you're doing well. Everybody who's new to the stream, please hit the like button, subscribe button, and let me know how it's going. Can't drink coffee anymore. Oh, I love coffee. Coffee is my favorite thing in the world. In my opinion, coffee is proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy. As is music. But TNS, I think you're new to the stream, so let me know how it's going. And if there's anything that you want to talk about, any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I mean, I've heard, I hope coffee is good for you. I hope coffee is good for you. I drink so much of it. If it's not good for me, I am in a lot of trouble. We gotta listen to your stomach. I mean, as we get older, right? Thank God, thank heavens, my stomach is still letting me drink coffee, because otherwise, I'd be very sad. No, no, black. For me, black coffee all the way. I agree, Combine. Pure black coffee is where it's at. Now, every now and then, I'll be a fancy pants and I'll get like a latte or a cappuccino or something. But sometimes I like to be fancy, but I still, in my heart of hearts, love black coffee. The reason I go for cappuccinos sometimes is, especially if there's a place offering free coffees or free fancy coffees, I feel like it's a waste to just get a black coffee. You might as well get the cappuccino and get the fancy stuff. What's your favorite coffee, Smokey? Mine, and I live in Windsor, so Canada, so I'm very sad to say I can't find it anywhere. But for me, it's Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts is without a question my favorite coffee, and I can't find it in Canada anywhere, so I get to drink it exclusively when I'm in the States. But that's one thing I always look forward to, is drinking it in the States. I know, I'm bad Canadian. I think Dunkin' Donuts, and this might get me kicked out of the country, so raised, maybe I need to crash on your couch. I think Dunkin' Donuts is in fact better than Tim Hortons. And here I am. Oh, you with I'm assuming when you say DK, you mean Dunkin' Donuts, which that makes me so sad. You know, basically, you're living my dream life. Raised eyebrow. You're living my dream. I'm here, can't find a Dunkin' to save my life, and you're just living the dream and bragging about it, no less. That's fine. I used to always go and buy the Keurigs of Dunkin' coffee back when I would travel to the States, so I had it at least back here, which I used to love doing. So, but I haven't done it in a bit. See, and you're still like bragging now. You're going to get a nice coffee. I'm assuming Dunkin'. Oh, never triple triples. I never, even when I would have coffee with milk and sugar, it was like coffee with a milk and a sugar. The story is, I'll tell you this story while we wait for more people to show up so we can talk about, again, Freemasonry in Windsor. I'll share a little fun story with you guys about why I started drinking coffee black. I lived in Ottawa. When I first moved away from Winnipeg, when I moved to Ottawa, I worked in home hardware. And I worked in home hardware, and next to the home hardware, there was a coffee shop. And I was like 20 something at the time, 21. And there was a lady working behind the counter at the coffee shop who I had a crush on. And so I would go there every morning to get a coffee, and she would always say to all the customers, "Do you want your coffee black, do you want your coffee with milk and sugar, or do you take your coffee like a man?" And of course, because I had a massive crush on this girl, I couldn't say I take my coffee with milk and sugar, so I would say I take it like a man, and just force myself to drink it black, just to like, um, impress her. I never even got her name. All that work, forcing myself to drink black coffee. I never even got up the courage to ask her name. I have no idea her name or what has happened to her. She was from Australia. She had an Australian accent. So, coffee shop, Australian lady. Thanks to you, I drink black coffee. No, if I was gangster, I would have got her name and phone number. All I got was drinking black coffee. Thank you, a real OG. I will take it. So that was in like 2024. No, 20, Jesus. That was in 2004, 2005. Because I moved away in 2004 when I was 20. I was 20 years old at the time. So it would have been 2021 when I had this crush on this coffee shop girl. Started drinking coffee black. I don't know what happened to her. I hope she's living a great life out there in the world. I have black coffee to remember her by. Thank you, Murray Fitzsimmons. I will have a better day if you hit the like button and the subscribe button. I mean, every dumb decision I've ever made, or even, I mean, half the decisions I make are based on trying to impress girls. It never works, but that's a whole other can of tuna. What is up, CD? It's been a minute. How's it going with you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. It's been a minute. How is it going with you? What is new? What is exciting? I'm going to talk today about Freemasonry in Windsor. And so, yeah, because yesterday, 133rd anniversary. Ryan, how's it going with you as well? Thank you for being here. I hope you're doing good. Just painting an apartment. I hope. What color are you painting, out of curiosity? Oh, CD. So you're gonna brag too. That's again. Here's me, Cameron, forever trapped away from my favorite coffee, Dunkin' Donuts. Well, I gotta go get ready for this. Oh my gosh, 12 hours, 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Looks like. Nothing but respect for you, Smokey. I hope that your work goes well. I hope the 12 hours flies by. Thank you, as always, for joining. I truly appreciate it. It's a light toupee taupe wall. A taupe is what it's called. I don't know colors. Walls and ceiling white. Awesome. We're just giving it a bit more time, and then we are going to be hitting the topic, which is going to be Freemasonry in Windsor today. Much love to you as well, Smokey, and thank you as always for joining. I hope that you are doing well. Or I hope you have a great day at work. I hope 12 hours flies by for you. I hope you have safe travels, all that good jazz. And if you are just finding us, please take a moment, jump in the chat, say hello. Like I said, I hope you're having a great, great day, and I hope everything is going well for you. It's nice to be back here after a weekend off, a weekend where I got nice and sunburnt. I've been getting a lot of sun lately, and my skin is starting to... All right, let's give it a bit. Oops. I have not. I have to find a way to get to because right now the only place I know of it. I read the screenplay, but the only place I know that it's running at the moment is New York, and it's not cheap to get to, especially because I have to be in Toronto. Or Markham, I should say. So I don't know. But I'd like to get a chance to see it as soon as I can. It's 100% on my list of places I want to get to. Well, maybe you saw it, right? Raised eyebrow. If I could sleep on your couch, maybe I'll make it there. I want to pay for a hotel. I've seen clips. I've seen clips and like still images, but I haven't actually been able to see the full production, and I don't think they've turned into a play. Interesting enough, I talked ages ago. So one of my favorite movies, I've talked about it on this stream a lot, is called Bug, B-U-G, starring Ashley Judd. And I remember saying it's about basically a woman who's kind of sad and lonely, and she meets a gentleman who is mentally ill, and who convinces her of all these conspiracy theories surrounding like her life and government, and government's implanting bugs in her and stuff like that. And I always thought, they could do that production again in 2025, but switch it so instead of it being this sad, lonely woman meets somebody in person, she meets or she falls into a trap of online content, and she finds these people saying these things online through Facebook, and the entire movie could be almost exactly the same, except it's a online relationship instead of an in-person one. And that's kind of what they did with Angry Allen, which I thought was really interesting. They kind of took that idea and applied it, which I thought was really cool. So there is that. Welcome if you're just joining us. I hope you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know how it's going. I would love to. I've been sharing it with some people. I'm going to share it with some more people because I think it'd be a great production. Because we do have a theater now. In our ballroom, which I'm really proud of, and so it's going really good. So it'd be great to see that production take place. And by the way, if you are just joining us, welcome. Take a moment, hit that like button, jump in the chat, say hello. Happy belated birthday to Windsor, 133 years old as of yesterday. Pop Rocks, I do remember you, Pop Rocks. How's it going? Thank you, everybody also who has been voting in our stream. Apparently also today is Shark Awareness Day, so if anybody loves sharks, let us be aware of them. And 4 more days until I Know He Did Last Summer comes out. It's going to be a great summer for scary movies. Okay. Well, let's start talking a little bit about it now, just because we'll wait for some more people to join, as always. But in the interim, Freemasonry and Windsor. When I typed this into Google, it was really cool. It popped up, and I love it because it's my place. Freemasonry in Windsor, Ontario is associated with the Windsor Masonic Temple, a significant heritage building, and the Essex County Jesuit Masonic Association. The temple, a neoclassical revival style building, has served as a community gathering place for over a century and continues to host events, meetings, and charitable activities. Freemasons in Windsor also participate in various charitable endeavors, including supporting children's dyslexia and raising funds for local families in need. The Windsor Masonic Temple is recognized as a heritage property by the City of Windsor. The temple is a prominent landmark known for its neoclassical design and rich history. The Windsor Masonic Temple has been a venue for weddings, banquets, dances, and other community events for decades, and it continues to be used for these purposes. The Freemasons in Windsor actively participate in charitable work, including supporting local organizations and initiatives like the Wings Rehabilitation Center and the Windsor Scottish Rite Learning Center, which provides tutoring for individuals with dyslexia. I don't know what the Wings Rehabilitation Center is. I think that might be a mistake. Prince Hall Freemasonry, an organization with roots in the African American community, has also been active in Windsor since the mid-1800s, with a lodge established in Windsor in 1854. Essex County District Masonic Association. This organization represents Freemasons in the Essex County area and provides a platform for networking, community engagement, and charitable activities. In 2024, the Windsor Masonic Temple celebrates its 100th anniversary, marking a century of community service. Historic significance. The temple's history is intertwined with the social and cultural life of Windsor, with many of its members having held influential positions within the community. Now, technically, we didn't actually, 2024 was 102 years, but because of COVID, there was a delay in when we could celebrate. So we celebrated the 100th anniversary in 2024, even though the actual celebration date would have been 2022. But again, due to COVID, they really couldn't do a big public event. We did some stuff. We did a lot of really fun and enjoyable activities, but it wasn't a full-on celebration as it was with us in 2024, which were like the really special events. Now, the earliest lodge in Windsor was actually Great Western Lodge. Which, as a Masonic lodge, currently meets in Windsor's Masonic building. Interesting enough, even Detroit Historical Society, this is really cool, has a program from Great Western Lodge number 47 A.M. Lodge of Instruction 1912. Program for Lodge of Instruction of the Great Western Lodge of the Ancient Free and Accepted Masons at the Masonic Temple, Windsor, Ontario, March 21st, 1912. The program contains the list of members, the menu, a list of toasts, a list of members who are conferring new degrees, and portraits of several officers. The program is bound in white cardstock. The fact that this is located in Detroit, I think, is really cool. Because again, there's the Windsor and Windsor Masons connection. Detroit also, aside from having connections to obviously Detroit Masonic Temple and Detroit Freemasons, Detroit Masons and Windsor Masons have a really great relationship with each other. And you see that in the fact that, amongst other things, the Detroit Historical Society has in its collection information from Windsor. Well, there was no Detroit Grand Lodge, right? There was the Michigan Grand Lodge. I don't believe Detroit ever had its own Grand Lodge. It's rare that a city would have kind of its own Grand Lodge, if that makes sense. Usually it's by state in North America. Um, Detroit, though, as like just the city itself being influential, that was certainly the case because Detroit was such a booming city at when Freemasonry was growing so rapidly. Detroit was growing rapidly at the same time, and so because it was such an important city economically, such an important city in terms of being a manufacturing hub and a production hub. As the city grows more important, the Masonic Lodge therein is going to become more influential and more important. And certainly the fact that Detroit has the largest Masonic temple in the world should tell you something about how important Freemasonry is in Detroit, or at least was. They have a Temple Street, right? They celebrated 100 years of the Cornerstone. I mean, Detroit literally has the biggest, largest Masonic temple in the world. Right? It contains a variety of public spaces, and if anybody, Mason or non-Mason, ever gets the chance to visit, please do so. It is an incredible building, and they have tours for the public. They can organize Masonic tours. It's so awesome to see. The architect was George D. Mason, by the way. No pun not intended. Right? The Masonic Temple Association in Detroit was incorporated in 1894. It moved into its first temple on Lafayette Boulevard on First Street in 1896. It outgrew those quarters because numbers were growing so rapidly. The association purchased land on Bagg Street to build a new temple that would also include a public theater. Fundraising for construction of the building raised $2.5 million, equivalent to $39.24 million in 2024. A groundbreaking took place Thanksgiving Day 1920. Again, most of these grand Masonic buildings that we think of, Detroit, Windsor, Toronto, they were built in the 1920s by and large because Freemasonry was growing so rapidly in the 1920s. Bay City. The cornerstone was placed on September 19th, 1922, using the same trowel that George Washington used to set the cornerstone of the United States Capitol in Washington, D.C. The building was dedicated Thanksgiving Day, 1926. The auditorium has a capacity of 5,000. The current capacity is 4,404. I love this story. In April of 2013, the building was reported to be in foreclosure over $152,000 in back taxes owed to Wayne County. The debt was paid off in May 2013, and in June 2013, it was revealed that $142,000 of the bill was footed by singer-songwriter Jack White, a Detroit native known for his work with the White Stripes. He wanted to help the temple in its time of need, as they had helped his mother in a time of need. The temple gave her a job as an usher in the theater when she was struggling to find work. I mean, this is no worries. Welcome to be here. This is one of those things where I always talk about, like, Freemasonry matters to the communities in which it's located. It matters to the people who are part of that community, right? It provides jobs, it provides entertainment, it provides revenue, it provides tourism. That's true of Windsor as well. Freemasonry oftentimes is a social safety net, for membership as well as for communities as a whole. And that's an important thing that we should always be keeping in mind. And you see that with Detroit, right? You see that with Windsor as well. I mean, Windsor, I'm trying to think, just in my own time, how many conferences, special events have Windsor Freemasons or Essex County Freemasons hosted that have brought in visitors and guests from around Ontario? I can think of a few. January 19th and 20th, 2024, our rededication ceremony, as well as the Cornerstone Ceremony at City Hall we did in 2017, Scottish Rite celebrations. Like, there's so many examples. The couple Scottish Rite celebrations. And that means hotel rooms getting booked, that means restaurants. All that stuff matters, all that stuff is really, really important. Olette, that's where the Windsor Masonic Temple is located, on Olette Avenue. It is a cool city. I sometimes feel like it gets a little bit unfairly maligned, especially during the economic crash of 2008 when all of the car companies were kind of going under. And I think the fact that Freemasonry has been such a part of Windsor since even before it was Windsor, I think is something really special. That is often the worst job. How did they turn out this time? Turn out okay? I'm just curious what my dad's going to say for that one. The biggest way I think that you can talk about the connection between Freemasonry and the city of Windsor is to talk about the Cornerstone Ceremonies. I have an article from CTV News, and I was heavily involved in organizing this. On Saturday, Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins welcomed numerous dignitaries, including Masonic members from Windsor, Essex, Toronto, Michigan, and Ohio, for a Cornerstone Ceremony set to the new City Hall. It's my pleasure to have so many Masons from Ontario and our neighbors in the United States with us here today to celebrate what I like to think of as a transfer of history from our current City Hall, built in 1956, to our new City Hall opening in 2018. This will be the third City Hall Cornerstone Ceremony performed by Masons for Windsor, and with it, a span of over 160 years will be bridged. This ceremony took place just north of the current City Hall. When construction is complete on the new building in May 2018, the stone will be located on an interior wall along with cornerstones from two former city halls dedicated in 1856 and 1871. So again, we as Freemasons laid 3 cornerstones at our city halls as well as one dedication. The first one, 1856, the second one, 1871, and the third one, 2017. But again, that just goes to show the history, the importance of the history of Windsor and Essex, right? Or Windsor and Freemasons, excuse me. Both Essex County Masons and Windsor Masons particularly. I'm sure, Dad, that they will taste wonderful. I have no doubt. And thank you everybody for joining. As always, hope you hit the like button and subscribe button. But you think about, and I hope that same relationship goes for the next 100 years or so, or 133 years. 1856. I mean, think about it. How many Masonic lodges have been a part of their city's history since the founding of the city? Even before then, honestly, probably more than we think. Probably more than we appreciate. But again, with Windsor, the fact that you had the first City Hall in 1856 and the second City Hall in 1871, both having Masonic cornerstones laid therein, as well as another one in 2017. I mean, that's something I think really special. I don't know if we're gentlemen, Courtney, but thank you for being here as well. I hope you're doing well. By the way, tomorrow I will not be doing a live stream at 1 p.m. because I will be traveling to Grand Lodge in Ontario, Grand Lodge in Markham, basically north of Toronto. But and also, I do not believe I'll be able to do it on Wednesday, but I will be posting my travels on social media. So I hope that you guys will follow me for all of that. Keep in touch and just keep on checking my social media, because every time I'm doing something or have something coming up, I try to post it on social media, such as August 16th, live streaming from the hip hop community, hip hop festival in Windsor, which is going to be a lot of fun as well. So there's going to be a lot of really good stuff happening. So please keep up to date with what we got going on. And thank you, everybody, joining. So all the Masonic lodges in Windsor meet at the Windsor Masonic Temple. So that's 7 lodges. There have been times, to my knowledge, in history where they've met in different locations. There's different, throughout history there have been different Masonic buildings. Our current Masonic Temple was founded in 1921. Was built in 1921, opened in 1922. But yeah, they've all met there. I am not going to be a rapper. I cannot rap to save my life, but I will be live streaming from the Hip Hop Festival because I got invited there by a friend of mine who's a Mason, and also just to watch and hang out. But also, we as Freemasons should care about, support, and try to champion the arts and artists and local artwork within our communities. I'm a big believer in that, so I hope everybody will keep that in mind. And check that out. I'll be streaming on August 16th for a couple hours from 12 to 2. So I hope that you guys will join me for that. Check in some awesome live music and celebrate some local artists. But I hope everybody watching this is having a great time. Please take a moment. If you're just joining us, hit that like button and subscribe button. And let me know how it's going. I should do some questions. Like, for example, anybody can tell me, based on if you were paying attention, what are the dates or the years in which Freemasons laid cornerstones at the city halls of Windsor? There are 3 years. Let me know if you guys paid attention and know which years they are. And Spirit, let me know how it's going for you. If you're having a good day, what is new and exciting? Just another Monday. Just sending out a quick note here. go, just sending this out. Off topic, just curious. She was. Go Luna Vachon, representing Canada. I agree. No, I think that would be great. And actually, Courtney, many lodges have considered doing that over the years. Um, so I know many lodges that have organized movie nights, education nights, things of that nature, to encourage more brethren to attend and show up. And they sometimes open those up to the public, so they'll have their meeting, which will be in private, and then they will switch it over and have their public. They'll have their private meeting, and then they'll go and they'll open up to the public, and they'll show a movie. They'll show, for example, Join or Die, which was, despite the creepy title, it's actually about Robert Putnam's work, Bowling Alone, about the importance of community involvement and civic organizations like Freemasonry. So yeah, so it's a good idea, though. It's 100% a good idea. Yeah, no, I know. In Winnipeg, but Winnipeg is also a city of 750,000 people, right? Windsor is about 270,000. So we don't have the population, so it probably makes sense for us to all have just one meeting location. But it all kind of depends on what's going on. I'd say once you start to get a town of over 500,000, that's often when you start to see multiple Masonic buildings, multiple Masonic temples, even on the same city. I hope everybody watching this, though, is doing well and having a great time. As I was saying, yesterday, Windsor celebrated 133 years, 133rd birthday, and it's looking great. Not a day over 100, it looks. But I love Windsor. It's my town, it's my home, and it's a great city. That made me think, we should talk a little bit about the history of Freemasonry in Windsor. Some of the interesting facts, such as the fact that Windsor has hosted 3 Cornerstone ceremonies at its city halls, Windsor City Halls. 1856, 1871, and 2017, as well as a dedication in the mid-2000s. Nothing but credit for them on that. The fact that the Windsor Masonic Temple has been over 100 years, 100 and about 5 years now, has been an integral part of the community, has been an integral part of charity efforts, education efforts for kids, weddings, funerals. It's as home as much as anything else for the community. The fact that we've had thousands of Masons and tens of thousands of people come through those doors has been pretty impressive. Our mayor's grandfather himself was a Freemason, and a few guys still know him. So, the history of Windsor and Freemasonry, there's a ton of stuff of it online, and it's pretty incredible. And I think we as Freemasons owe it to continue to support that history as much as we possibly can. Are there many unrecognized? Oh, sure. I mean, there's unrecognized irregular lodges anywhere. I'm much less concerned with them as other Masons seem to be. My view on it is, plenty of sand in the sandbox. To my knowledge, in Windsor specifically, I don't know of any unrecognized or clandestine lodges that are meeting. However, it's possible, right? Especially with the way things are online, it's possible from somebody in Windsor to create a fake account, the one true Masonic Order of Cameron, put your location as Windsor, and then send out invitations saying, to people all around the world, saying like, join my Masonic Order, send me a check for $500, and you too can be a member of this. So the idea of location the idea of like where do clandestine lodges located, a lot of them are exist nowhere but online, nowhere but on social media, which I think is something we need to keep in mind as well. I've heard of Slasher, didn't watch it yet, but I heard it's a really good movie. I was just dog sitting for my friend, and they had Netflix, so I finally got to watch some Netflix again, which was nice. It's been a while. I just discovered, by the way, Hoopla, Hoopla. If you are a Windsor Public library card holder, which I am and proud of it, I think we should support our local libraries. One thing that you can do is join Hoopla, and you can actually rent digitally movies and ebooks and audiobooks, which is incredible. And it's just, you just borrow it. It's super simple. I don't think it's exclusive to Windsor, but yeah, it's really, really cool. I got to rent a couple movies I haven't seen for a while. It's going to be really fun. It does. It does. If you're talking about Ledroit, I can't pronounce it to save my life, or even Co-Freemasonry, I'm sure it does. But so do a lot of places. The Philippines actually does as well. So there's two kind of Masonic groups in the Philippines. One is recognized by us, one isn't. But the one that isn't is recognized by, for example, Ledroit de Human. I can't pronounce it to save my life, but it does for sure. But again, I think we're getting a little bit silly with some of the concern about clandestine lodges. Like, it is what it is. You can't stop people from creating their groups, you know? What you want to do is make sure that you're being clear about which groups are recognized and which groups aren't. But if somebody wants to join an unrecognized Masonic group because maybe they like the people who are in it, or maybe they think it's cool, like, you gotta let them do, like, what can you do, right? It is what it is. And maybe one day, plenty of Masonic groups started their life as being not recognized and over time grew to be recognized. So you want to keep that in mind as well, you know? Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, I think we're getting a little bit overly paranoid about some of this stuff. Again, I understand though, especially because one of the biggest issues you get with but I wouldn't even call them clandestine per se, but one of the biggest issues we're having now is, I can start on Facebook a Masonic group that's not legitimate, call it like Cameron's Freemasonry, send out a million messages saying, if you join Cameron's Freemasonry group, pay us $50 now, and in 5 years, we will share with you the riches of King Solomon and whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. And people do that and get scammed. It makes Freemasonry look bad because they're not going to recognize and understand necessarily that the message they got was not quote unquote real Freemasonry, right? They're not going to get that difference, which is why I think we need to be careful about that. But if somebody wants to start Cameron's Freemasonry group, meet out of their garage, charge, $25 to be a member and create their own ceremonies, and they just like kind of adopting some of the terms or ideas, like, you can't stop that, right? And the more you try to police that and stop that, the worse it's going to get, because then it just looks like you're scared of competition. You got to kind of just let things go, in my humble opinion. Oh yeah, they are troublesome. Like, they are happening really badly. I actually got a few phone calls from people who said, I got a message from somebody asking me to be a Mason, like, not Masons themselves, but people contacted me because my information's online, saying, I know you're a Mason, or you say you're a Mason. I got this message from someone claiming to be a Mason, asking me to send them money, and in exchange they'd let me join. Could you confirm if they're legitimate or not legitimate? And so, I met with them, and I saw the messages, and they were obviously scams. What I always say is, as a general good rule of advice, if anybody contacts you and says, join and you'll get rich and famous, then it's almost certainly a scam, right? That's how I would, anybody promising you'll be rich, you'll be famous, or you'll gain influence is almost certainly scamming you. When people ask me nowadays, what do you get from Freemasonry? The answer I always give them is absolutely nothing. You get nothing from Freemasonry except the opportunity to fight for a better world, right? You can join something, and as part of joining that thing, you can potentially make the world a better place, or at least fight to make the world a better place. But that's all you can do. And that's kind of always been my argument for people. But yeah, if you're getting a message and it's saying something effective like, join our order, give us $50 now, and we will then use that money to access the riches of King Solomon and share with you that wealth, which will be in the millions of dollars. It's a scam, and unfortunately they're way more common. And I agree though, Spirit, it is more nuanced than a lot of people want it to be. People are oftentimes, and this is true for Freemasons as well as non-Freemasons, people are often not comfortable with nuance, unfortunately. Which makes things really challenging, I think, often and a lot of the time. So, yeah, no, it's really unfortunate that people aren't comfortable with nuance. I wish they were. I wish Freemasons were as well, because oftentimes the truth lies in nuance. I hope everybody, though, is doing well. And I'm looking forward to traveling tomorrow. Like I said, no live stream tomorrow. Probably no live stream on Wednesday because I'm going to be traveling to our Grand Lodge, which I'm very much looking forward to. Um, I hope everybody, though, is doing well, and I cannot wait to be at Grand Lodge tomorrow. It's going to be a blast. I love going to Grand Lodge every year. It's always a lot of fun. But in the meantime, take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know how it's going. Happy birthday, Windsor, and I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm just going to send a few messages to a few more people, see if I get some more people joining us for this stream. And by the way, I'm going to be posting a ton of stuff this weekend, so please, like I said, follow me on all my social media channels. That helps out big time. Hey, if you can get good deals, you can get good deals, right? Sometimes that happens, not as much as people think, but it's kind of the nature of, whether you're a Freemason or join a football team or a soccer league or whatever it is, like, if you know somebody and, like a shop owner and you're a Mason and they're a Mason, or you play on the same football team or your kids go to the same school, you might get cut in on a good deal. You never know. So you always want to, um, what's what I'm looking for? You always want to try and what you're looking for. I don't think there's anything wrong in taking advantage of those things, right? I don't think there's anything wrong in if you're a Mason and you want to offer discount to your brother in doing so, but the danger is making sure that you are not joining Freemasonry for those reasons, right? Or joining Freemasonry to rely, square deal, sure, or to rely on those things, right? The danger is when you start to join Freemasonry because you want to get some type of discounts or you want to help your business grow. That's not the reason to join. Having said that, it doesn't shock me or surprise me that if those things happen. I don't think there's anything wrong with those things either. Helping a brother out is always an important thing. By the way, I got my 50 words of described Freemasonry, so I'll be sharing some stuff about that shortly. I hope that you guys will join, hit the like and subscribe button to learn more about that. Um, and yeah, everybody is doing well as always. Please take a moment, if you are just joining us, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know how it's going. I'll probably give this stream another 10 minutes or so. Finishing kind of early because I do have to get ready for my trip tomorrow. Have to pack, have to do all that good jazz that you have to do. But getting a good deal as a Mason is not a bad thing, and I think there's all sorts of stories about like car salesmen and stuff getting a good deal. So, you know, like I said, I am going to be trying to do more streaming on some of my other channels lately, including including on Twitch, including on my personal channel, which I haven't streamed on there in a minute, so I'm hoping to get back and stream there soon. I will, and like I said, you'll see my stuff on social media. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. But I got 12 votes, by the way, and looks like majority of people said no. But I don't know if they're saying no because they're not Ontario Freemasons. A couple of, though, did say yes to, if you're Ontario Freemason, we'll be attending Grand Lodge this week. So let's see. It'll be great. I think it'll be a good time as always. Grand Lodges. Maybe I can try to stream from, who knows, the train or something. But I'm just going to wait to see if anybody jumps in, has any more questions, any more thoughts, anything else that they want to talk about. I would love to hear them. Like I said, though, I am going to have to leave soon because I do got a bunch of work to do to get ready for my trip. I'm going to give it another, let's say, 5 minutes. Just to see if anybody jumps on and says hello. Thank you, Courtney, and I want to say once again to you, I wish you all the best in your Masonic journey. I know your initiation is coming up soon. I think it's wonderful, and congratulations, and just try to enjoy it as much as you can. Try to appreciate everything that as much as you can. It's hard, but I know you've waited for a long time, and I think you're going to do great. And just enjoy it and have fun, really. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't try to remember everything. You're not going to. Just have fun. Life's too short, really, to do anything. And the Masonic journey is too short. Oh, Lord. Raised eyebrow. What a question that is. That's a good question, too. See, there's a lot of little things that come to mind. I wish we weren't so quick to discard virtual lodge meetings as an addition to in-person meetings, or as as a adornment accessory to in-person meetings. You know, but the one, if I had to pick one thing, it would be and I'm gonna give me a little bit more specific, raised eyebrow. I'm gonna make this specific to North American Freemasonry. Because there is differences between North American Freemasonry, South American Freemasonry, and even district to district it changes. I would have our Grand Lodges spend more time emphasizing the responsibility of being a Freemason and less time emphasizing the potential benefits, right? And even going so far as the responsibility of showing up and the responsibility of attendance, I think is so critical and so important and so often gets overlooked. Um, and I think we as Freemasons and certainly Grand Lodges do not emphasize that importance enough. We're more often willing to say, well, work, family comes first. We forget that we need people to show up. We need people to care. It cannot just be the same 3 or 4 people doing everything. People need to care, and it's a responsibility to care. So I would say one thing I want to change is more of an emphasis from our Grand Lodges on the necessity of brothers showing up and caring. Um, if that makes sense. And even a willingness to suspend for non-attendance. I absolutely think that's a necessary thing. And like you shouldn't, right? And that's good spirit. Like, how do I put this? Um, you shouldn't feel guilty because missing happens. You should. Here's what I'll say. You should feel guilty if you decide to miss just because you decide to miss. Obviously, you're sick. Family is sick. Work, whatever it is, then you shouldn't feel guilty because it just is what it is, and you have to, it is what it is. But in my opinion, there's so many people who are not showing up to lodge, and it's not because they have to work. It's not because they're sick or their family's sick. It's just because they don't want to, right? And or they're choosing to set themselves up to be in a position where they can't make it. So like when I was I still am, but when I was training for professional wrestling, I was talking to this one guy who is a professional wrestler and he works behind the scenes a lot. And he said, when I have a show coming up, if it's on let's say my son's birthday, I still go and I do the show, but I also budget my time accordingly. So 2 days before I have to leave, I'll, go out with him and we'll go out and go grab dinner and I'll have a birthday night with him 2 days before, so I can still wish him happy birthday and still do what I need to do to get it done, right? He says he's always planning weeks in advance to make sure he's capable of both fulfilling his family commitments and his professional wrestling commitments. And I think with Freemasonry, it's the same thing. Like, I'm sorry, but for most people I talk to, it's not that they can't combine their family and Masonic commitments into one. It's that they're not planning their time well enough to allow them to do so. And yes, it takes a little bit of extra work, and yes, I don't have a family, so people can say, who am I to talk? But I have a lot of things on my plate, and I'm always able to the best of my abilities, accomplish them all because I try to plan my time out accordingly. Whether it means being a good friend, wrestling, being a good neighbor, work, scoring compass promotions, Freemasonry. If that means maybe I have a Masonic commitment on the same day as I have another commitment, is it possible for me to move the other commitment around? Is it possible for me to do something with the other commitment where I can do it online or schedule beforehand? Like, you can find a way, You can find a way if you care. I truly believe that. CD, it's been great to have you back. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. And thank you for joining. That is true, though, Courtney. Many do. Time constraints do make it tough, but it's tough for everybody out there, right? You still have responsibility to try to make it work. All right, guys, this has been a blast. Thank you, as always, for joining. It's not too late. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, but I'm going to end this stream for the day. Like I said, no stream tomorrow, no stream probably Wednesday, but try to pay attention to social media. Try to pay attention to everything else I'm up to, because I will be posting some stuff on there, and I will be posting some videos of my travels, I have no doubt. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. I will talk to everybody soon.